Hello, fellow YouTubians and Heroes of the Storm players. I'm once again back with another game from Quick Match. This was probably the most intense game I have ever played. Um, it's just insane. I can't even start to explain to you the amount of intensity this game had. Um, we'll just have to see. It's so crazy. So we were on the red side as last time. Seems to be pretty common for us, I guess. I think one of us was AFK at the moment smoking. I don't really remember. I just know that we ended up... Oh, yep, okay. um, this game, I don't even have words for it. It ended up being 40 minutes long, which is hella intense for Heroes of the Storm just in general. And the stats at the end of this game are just so ridiculously crazy that I don't know. So we've got Joanna and Jaina in bottom lane with Vala and Gazlo. And up top we had Tychus with our Sylvanas and Leoric. He's new. This will be the second video that I have with a new character. This trade-off at the beginning of the game was really bad. We were not ready for this, especially it just being quick match. Yeah, it wasn't very fun to start off with. We probably should have sent another person down, but you know, it's quick match. You don't really think a whole lot about it. They were wrecking us pretty hard. I might just go ahead and increase the speed here because this game was really, really long, and because of that, hopefully this cuts that time down just a little bit. We ended up getting really lucky on Immortals. The clip that I'm like really excited to rewatch is there at the end. I was really mad about that death because I was so close to getting away too. And we're kind of just not doing much right now. Sergeant Hammer, I've found that tends to be like really intense on this game, or on this map anyway. Just because of his siege, he makes it really hard to get into range to attack, especially if you don't have like a really tanky tank. And even then, you know, Joanna can be fun, but Sergeant Hammer just does so much damage whenever he's left alone, or she's left alone. We had a lot of problems with Tychus, and I don't know why. And we never really have issues with Tychus when it comes to that. And Gazlo, he is so annoying on this map too. Our stats were not like as intense early game, but it was always the very close like the entire time. The whole blue team defended like the entire time on the first one, which ended up losing their immortal. And it's usually the strategy we go for anyway, is to defend our immortal first. So they kind of just did what we usually did. But the trade-offs that happened between being so slow and everybody just being low life like all the time was just made this game so crazy. They were ahead of us for a while, but we're not gonna get into that very much. Like we're all like really low. There's no reason we should have been there. And the fact we just kept going back, like, their multi-shot build, Vala definitely would have killed us all right there. And we really did not have coordination being in quick match. We were in curse, but weren't we weren't like really pushing like we would if it was team league. This game was just, I have never had this fun of a game before. I'm really personally not a big fan of Leoric. I feel like he's usually in quick match too eager to die just because he comes back to life so fast. He's not really, doesn't seem that, I guess, viable. He doesn't have that much of an HP pool either. I do have to give their Tyrande credit. She was on point for a lot of her attacks and abilities. And our Uther was he's actually very new to the game, but he's been doing really well as far as like picking up really quick. It's really impressive. The Death Laser is where we ended up having a lot more problems with than we should have. He ended up taking increased range on it. In late game, you'll just see the amount of damage that he ends up doing with it. It is sad. I know during like most of this we were yelling at each other for a lot of it. It was just there was a lot of anger during this game. And we did just leave Gazlo alone for way too long. I think at this point our kills were still pretty close to each other. Damage wasn't really that far apart. It was definitely interesting. I don't know, one of our friends, Mr. Brown Coat, who was playing Sylvanas, was telling his wife at the beginning of the game, "Oh yeah, this would be, just give me like 15 minutes and 20 minutes and I'll get off and be done." And this is like the longest game any of us had ever played. I was not playing my best during this game. I don't remember who got the Immortal on this one. I know, like, the entire time we were just really intense team fighting. And that damn Death Laser. That thing seems to have like such a short cooldown on it, and it's probably really not even that short of a cooldown, but it's just so viable. It's not even fair. Oh my goodness, this game. I feel like they stayed ahead of us for the most part as far as like kills and stats, and we just, yeah, it was not enjoyable until late game. I don't even know where we just died at. So I think they ended up getting this immortal. At least it looks like it. I'm pretty sure they got this one. I don't know. I'm not very impressed with Leoric as a hero. I guess I kind of just expected him to be just a little bit more as far as what he would be able to do. I'm not entirely sure what was going on right here. I know at this point everybody's like, oh, I guess we should go like kill the immortal that's pushing our base. It's like, yeah, we kind of already have that taken care of. Thanks for the help, though, you know. Excuse me. And then, of course, like the camp trade-off. Oops. Yeah, this being a quick match, we were not organized at all. I do feel like they ended up outplaying us almost the entire game, and we just were not really, I guess, expecting it. And this would have been like a perfect time for us to stop attacking creep and go take care of our immortal. Jaina was just kind of down here like, yeah, I'm just gonna attack this thing, and damn death laser. Poor Leoric. They were pretty far ahead of us now that I look at it as far as kills and forts. We only had one of our forts left, which for the next 20 minutes, I don't think we lost that fort either. I think we were able to defend and keep it. But I know we did get a really big push with this one as well. And Gazlo was just like a huge annoyance this entire game too. We seem to have a lot more problems with Gazlo, I guess just because we don't really encounter him a whole lot. And I know everybody knows how to deal with him as far as like what to do, but he was really on point with his grab up bombs, and yeah, it was not our best game. I didn't even notice that little trade-off of camps. They definitely came and got ours. I do feel like that, what is it called, Wraith Walk is very, can be very useful. But I do feel like Leoric is just always way too eager to die. Like, he just doesn't, I guess the way is, like, he just doesn't reap the consequences of having to run all the way back since he's just always on the field. He's like the Murky of tanks in a way, even though he still has a pretty long res time. Yeah, we definitely had a turn of luck right here, where we just were getting demolished like the entire early game and like brought this back to us. But our Immortal still went down a lot faster than it should have, especially this late game. The fact that this game ended up being so close is what is really kind of sad. Because most games that I've played at this point, like, the game is over. You know, you're 30 minutes in, everybody's really high, and you're just really good at getting grouped up and working as a team a little bit better. But this time it was just, it was not what it should have been. And there was some yelling here in Curse where it's like, get on the mat, and like nobody did. So it was just like, oh, we just, gave them a free bruiser camp, but okay. And poor Vala just got demolished down here all by herself. I know myself and Leoric were talking about how it would be efficient to trade off having two tanks, and be like one person be frontline for a little bit and switch back and forth as we need health, and it just did not coordinate the way it should have coordinated. And I don't think this was the one that was really close either as far as the immortal, because I know we won by getting an immortal, but just the intensity of that last team fight was so insane. I honestly don't remember if they got this immortal or not. I know the entire time we were just talking about how we needed to take care of Sergeant Hammer because he was just taking care of business way better than we were. I don't know, I do wish that there were more games like this that were just really even throughout the entire game. Um, just because if games were like this all the time, I could see how that stigma of, oh well, I have to log on for an hour and play would get like not be a thing anymore. But still, it just the intensity and as much fun as we had in this game was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. And what's sad is at this point you think with this immortal that we would have won right here, but we still didn't. It got their core down to, I think it was like 50 something %, and then we almost lost. It was like a total throw of game. It shouldn't have been this close. And there probably was a good chance that they were a 5-man group as well, since we were rolling around as 5 and quick match just having fun, but still. I think all of us were pretty oblivious to his little cannon right there in the smoke. So I think this one was the immortal that ended up being just so intense. You'll see why here in just a few moments. Just the amount of anger we all had for each other at that point. Because it was just like this intense trade-off as far as like kills and defending and attacking the immortals. And that death laser would give us so many problems. And those hammer mines, was not used to those. And we're just kind of like racking up kills for each other. It was very intense. This immortal was so close, like the entire time. It was. I'm not really entirely sure what just happened there. I don't think I noticed that when we were playing. I know we really honestly thought we were going to lose the game at this point just because we were constantly feeding. And it wasn't really looking good for us at this point. We're just like, yeah, you know, these guys are definitely about to kill us. Like, just how close this gets here. This is what made this game so intense. We're like, yeah, we have to defend. We just have to defend. There's nothing else we can do. Because it was so low, and they just had so much life still, and we just ended up... I don't really know exactly how we did this, but it happened. So right here, our immortal is about to fall, and so we're like, okay, we should defend. And I know there was this little short conversations between me and Leoric. They're like, no, I'll stay. Just go get theirs down. Go get theirs down. We can do this. We can do this. And they both ended up being so close. It was scary. Yeah, our immortal lived with 78 life. How does that happen? Yeah. I know it may not seem as crazy in just watching it, but how it actually felt during the game was just so intense. And this is definitely where we ended up winning the game. We both had 59 kills for each of us. There wasn't a single person that died less than 10 times. And the stats for this game were just so insane that I don't really know how we ended up winning this the way we did. This, I honestly feel like this was the most intense game that I've ever played in Heroes of the Storm, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though it was sped up and probably still about 30 minutes long, but you can always add me at WILOTADAWN #1333 on Heroes of the Storm if you'd like to play, and hopefully I'll be posting more videos soon. Thanks.